Courtroom quick fixes are hearings or appearances I find interesting. From the serious to the mundane, there's always a reason the case caught my attention and kept it. I may speed up portions that are routine, redundant, or irrelevant, but they'll be lighter on the edits. Sometimes the length of an awkward silence is as important as the testimony itself. I'm sensitive to that, and I'll never intentionally, or unintentionally I hope, misrepresent facts or the spirit of what's actually happening. I don't give legal advice or try to provide a legal education, but we can all learn from the mistakes of others in addition to our own.
Divorce settlement to charity.
All right, we are going to go on the record in the matter of the Riverview versus Tatiana Chilcutt, 153418. And appearance, counsel?
Your Honor, good morning. Richard P. Serrano, P33828, hearing on behalf of my client, who is presently in custody at Wayne County Jail. Please state your name, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Tatiana Chilcutt.
All right, thank you. Good morning. And today is the date scheduled for sentencing in this matter. And your client, this matter has been pending since 2015. She had failed to appear, and then she was in custody at the Wayne County Jail. I'm going to presume for the matter out of Detroit, but it could be something else. I don't know.
It's a felonious assault, you tell me. It's
Yes.
serving time for.
Or assault with a dangerous weapon. And so they must have run her when she got in, and then we were notified she was in Wayne County Jail. So she was arraigned on February 22nd, where she entered a plea to attempt larceny. And today's date was scheduled for the sentencing. And so, counsel, do you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we have. It is accurate. Your Honor has her criminal history before her. As stated, she is serving a sentence now on a felonious assault in Wayne County Jail. Her out date is May. Your Honor, after reviewing it, the recommendation, we would hope the court would adopt the recommendation and let her serve her time concurrently with the matter pending. Obviously, she won't be able to pay fines and costs at this time, but got a candidate for probation, according to probation interview, and we hope the court would grant that request and have it first confirmed.
Okay. Well, one question I have, we do have the victim is present, so I'm very glad to see that. And so one question I have though, counsel, is your client 27 or 37?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Ms. Chilcutt, are you certain? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I looked at, it said you were 27, but then that would have put you at 10 for your first child, which I guess is possible, but then when I looked at your date of birth, I thought, no, I'm pretty sure that's 37. So.
Your Honor, you said the victim is present?
Yes.
Lady in court here?
Yes, so I'm going to have Ms. Perry step up to the podium.
The court is aware that there was a co-defendant, correct?
There was a co-defendant. Well, there's some other names in here, but that was unknown if those were aliases or people. Who do you believe is the co-defendant, counsel?
Your Honor, it was whoever her ex-boyfriend was. What was his name, ma'am?
Marlon Jackson is the father of my child.
Well, what happened to Mr. Jackson? Did he plead guilty or?
I don't know. I just remember seeing that. I didn't have to.
All right, well, I can look to see what happened with that, but any restitution would be jointly and severally, so that way between her and Mr. Jackson to figure out which one's going to be paying that, presumably, or getting it back from him or what have you. But all right, and so Ms. I'm going to have you step over to the podium. And if you could please state and spell your first and last names for the record, please.
Lindaperry.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm glad to see that you are present. I know that there's a victim's rights letter mailed to you. So what would you like the court to know, ma'am?
I just want them to know that they were opening accounts, closing my accounts. I was closing my accounts. They were reopening my accounts. They did try to $3,389 out of my checking, which I didn't have that much in there. And it was stated that they were gonna pay off my one, get that out, pay off my one loan so they could take more money out. They did go to Discount Tire and spend over $2,800 in wheels and rims. In fact, when the detective went up to their home residency, laying right on top on the table was a bunch of receipts and stuff. And the detective told me my Discount Tire thing was right on top. And they went into my Best Buy, got stuff. They went into my Capital One and put stuff on that. They went into my BP and tried to up that. Myself, I had to report fraud on everything. So it didn't affect me because I was right on top of everything. I had 3 addresses that was on where the mail was going to. And I was going to the detective every day, giving them information. My bank, I went to my bank because they got a hold of me. And they tried to send out cards, change the address. And my credit union, they did, I went on a Friday to get everything changed, all my passwords. Sunday, I went into my account to recheck it, and I couldn't get into my account because they had changed all of my passwords and everything. And the teller that was taking care of me said she don't know how that was done, but they were really sneaky snakes.
So did you know Ms. Chilcott?
No, never seen them, don't know me. Detective went up there and talked with them, interrogated her. I think that's the one they interrogated, detective did. He called me to let me know when he went up to the home. She was the only one there. It was an upper flat. She was the only one there at the home at that time. And there was all the paperwork there. And she said she was getting paid. He told me $50 or $100, $50, I believe he said, for every letter that she received. And then she would give it to her boyfriend, which her boyfriend wasn't there at that time. But it just caused a lot of because we had just jobs for her granddaughter a year before that. So all this was coming out, and it was just so much stress on myself and my family at this time. And because we had other issues going on with our family. So, and then I ended up getting cancer the same year. So it was terrible. And for these people to do that, they need to go out and get a job. You know, it's devastating how they do people. You know, like I said, I was right on top of everything. And I have family that was in, you know, and stuff. And I was kind of helping with everything too. And then my detective was helping me. But we did, like I said, just the anxiety and the grief and everything put so much stress on me at that time. I think they should get the max.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Chilcott,
Yes,
how did
ma'am.
you end up getting this? Did you hear everything Ms. Perry said?
Yes, I heard what she said.
How did you get her information?
I didn't have any knowledge of her information. My child's father asked me to receive some mail, and that's the only part I played was receiving the mail. I didn't know what was in the mail, what he was planning to do with the mail, or what cards came, or any of that information. And that's why I cooperated with the police and told them that this was who it was from.
Really, because in your statement that you gave to probation, you don't even remember talking to the police.
I don't remember talking to them. It was so long ago.
Did you live with Mr. Jackson?
No, I lived at St. Mary's in At the time that I talked to probation department, I didn't remember talking to them, but I do remember them coming out to my house, and I gave them information on who the perpetrator was, which was my child's father.
Okay, so ma'am, here's what I'm going to say, right? Was the mail coming in your name or somebody else's name to the address?
I didn't know until it came what mail. I mean, what name was on it.
And that wasn't my question. The mail that came to the home, was it in your name or somebody else's name at your address?
Somebody else's name.
Okay, so you didn't think that there was something odd about it coming in somebody else's name to your address that didn't live there?
No, not at the time.
Some random person that you didn't even know, that name was on the address coming to your house. And you didn't think that was odd?
I honestly didn't even really pay attention to the mail like that.
No, that's not true. If you're getting paid and if your
I
child's
never.
father, if your child's father, please don't interrupt, and your child's father was going to be paying you for each piece of mail received, or if you were to be paying attention to mail received, don't tell me that you weren't paying attention to the names on the envelope.
I never got paid for anything.
Okay, yet, you have a history of financial, let's see, attempted financial transaction device, illegal sale, felony financial transaction device possession. And so now you want me to believe that you had no idea as to what was going on with this information.
I do not know what was going on with the information. I had been done. That was in 2005, and I haven't had any dealings with him or stuff like that since 2005 and 2008. I
Well, counsel, anything else?
Your Honor, just, I did not hear the victim allege a specific dollar. She has out-of-pocket expenses. I know
She indicated that she didn't have to pay any out-of-pocket expenses, that it was all covered by her bank and credit card company. I'm sorry, Ms. Perry, you can step forward and correct that if that's incorrect.
Now, she was saying that, this happened in 2014. She was saying she wasn't alleged about the names. Well, she did know it was a different name. But on my discount tire, when they went to purchase some tires, they purchased it under my name on the receipt, and everything just says my name. Says how much I do have paper that states that it was from discount tire, it was put under my name, but it was a pickup, so they didn't give an address when they were doing that.
So who owned the pickup truck that in 2014, ma'am?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know any of the information what he used. That's why I gave the police his name and said that anything that happened with anybody's account, you have to go after him because I don't know anything. I don't deal with him in that manner. The only dealings that I have with my child's father is on account of my son. I haven't done anything fraudulent with him since 2005 and 2008.
Well, in 2014.
I didn't know what mail was getting sent there. I didn't pay attention to it. I just gave him whatever mail that he asked for.
Okay, and so why were there receipts at your home with Miss Perry's name on them?
I have no idea.
Yet receipts with her name on them were at your home.
I don't know.
Ma'am, I don't know is getting kind of old.
That was 8 years ago.
Your Honor, if I could, just, perhaps she doesn't remember too well, or because she has treated for a mental condition. Her preceptor report says she's had depression, anxiety, bipolar, so it's could be related to that she did not recall clearly incidents from that time. And we would hope the court would allow her to continue to get her medical health, mental health, if that applies, while she's incarcerated. But
And so, ma'am, all of your children reside with people other than you, correct?
Yes. They reside with their three of them reside with their father, and one is in a guardianship while I'm in custody.
Okay. And does the 16, 13, and 12-year-old have the same father or different fathers?
All of them have different fathers, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Perry,
Yes,
did you have any out-of-pocket expenses?
no, I had to go and file fraud papers on everything, and a lot of stuff we did catch, because I was right onto it in my detective.
Okay,
I was taking stuff to him right away, and he was doing what he had to do.
all right. And well, I'm pleased to hear that you didn't have any out-of-pocket expenses. That doesn't necessarily discount the fact that you probably had a lot more cost as far as emotional and mental and time in trying to resolve all of these issues. So what the court's going to indicate is that after review of the report and the recommendations, well, quite honestly, it's most unfortunate that this was reduced to an attempted larceny because, quite frankly,
Your Honor, you can't go back on the credit card places, or is that something they have to do?
what do you mean?
It was fraud. The credit card places can't come back after her.
Well, they may be able to, I don't know, and I'm not familiar with the statute of limitations, I don't know. But I will also state that, because this matter was in 2015, which I believe was kind of right at the start of when a lot were fraudulent, or 2014, when a lot of the fraudulent activities, statutes and such were coming out. Quite frankly, I think that Ms. Chilcutt, had it been more recent, would have been charged with felonies. But the court's going to indicate that the court's going to adopt the recommendation, 45 days jail, because that's the max. Ms. Perry, just so you're aware, that's the maximum for the plea that she entered into, which is attempt larceny, because the original charge was a 93-day misdemeanor, and the attempt cuts it in half. So 45 days jail. There's credit for 0 days because Ms. Chilcutt has been present in jail on another matter. And how long are you serving on your felonious assault?
1 year.
ma'am?
1 year. My out date is May 8th. I've been incarcerated since October 17th of this year. Of last year.
Okay, well, I'm going to indicate that this 45 days jail is to be served at the end of your current sentence. All right, and the court's going to suspend fines and costs at this point. All right, anything else, counsel?
nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, anything else, Ms. Chilcutt?
So when I'm done with my sentence here, I have to serve an extra 45 days.
Yes.
It's no way to run it concurrent because I was
No,
supposed to.
ma'am. No, this court's not running it concurrent. You have similar convictions on your criminal record. You also, in the time that this matter was out with warrant, you have an operating while impaired, disorderly person, operating while visibly impaired, and felonious assault. You also have 2 warrants out of 36 district court. So no. And it's obvious that the impact that your actions had on Ms. Perry have meant really nothing. You haven't apologized, you haven't expressed remorse, nothing.
I wasn't given a chance to say anything. I was waiting until you gave me a chance to speak on my behalf of what happened.
Okay, ma'am, I just asked if there was anything else, and your only question was when your out date wouldn't be in May anymore. You didn't ask if you could address Ms. Perry, you didn't ask any of that. Did you tell your attorney you wanted to talk to the court, you wanted to address the court?
No, I did not.
Okay, so what was it you'd like to say, ma'am?
I didn't get a chance. I was trying to get a chance to explain on my first court date that I know that I have previous dealings with my child's father for previous cases, but I had moved forward past that point in my life, and I haven't done anything fraudulent since those years, the years that are previously on my cases. I've made sure to stay out of any dealings with him. As far as that, the only dealings that I have with him is as far as my son, because my son is placed with him right now while I'm in custody. And I apologize if you had any emotional distress, any financial hardships. I did not know of, I wasn't aware of any of this until the police came to my house looking for him and looking for information. And I did cooperate fully with the police to tell them who the person was that they needed to find out. And I believe he did 18 months in prison for the charges back then.
And yet he still has custody, your child was still placed with him?
Yes. And I would just like to say, if you would just allow me the chance, I can pay back the money, but I really was looking forward to getting out after my year, so that I could go back to work. I am my job said that I could come back at Glory Supermarket after I'm released after a year. And anything that the court would like me to do, I am willing to do. I just would hope that you would give me that opportunity again, because I haven't been doing anything fraudulent since those other cases that I caught.
Okay, and ma'am, and that may be, you've committed other offenses, and that may be you haven't committed anything fraudulent that you're indicating or that you've been charged with. But Ms. Perry went through a whole lot based upon yours and Mr. Jackson's actions. So 45 days jail, as the court already ordered. Thank you.
Your
Have a
Honor,
good day.
ma'am.
Right, off the record, yes?
Your Honor, ma'am, make sure, if you will, put consecutive to current sentence, because if you don't, they're automatically going to do concurrent.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm glad she got more time. See you in the comments.